Hey Mike,
Hey brother, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for doing this interview with me.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Uh, you don't mind talking about mental health?
Not at all. I suffer from it myself.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to offend you.
You're not offending me.
Okay. I got my Davy Boy Smith shirt on, so I'm representing the family.
Okay, I will, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring in my tag team title belt that I just recently, well, we won in January, but
Yeah, buddy, do it.
me and Joey are the PCW tag team champions
Oh, nice.
in Gatineau, Quebec.
That's awesome, dude. You deserve gold.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see it around your waist.
I really appreciate that. It took a lot of hard work, a lot of years to get the recognition that me and Joey truly deserve.
Oh, I'm sure. You guys have been doing it for a while. How long have you guys been tag teaming?
I'd met Joey in 2009 and we've been going strong since.
That's good. That's crazy.
We started out at the same training school, which was a guy that trained in Calgary, Ruffy Silverstein and Jeff White.
Okay.
And Joey was the first student of the Figure Four Wrestling Academy, and then I followed along, and we met each other. His name was Joey Valentine. I was Mike Hart, so why not call each other the Heartbreakers? You know,
Yeah, yeah. Clever. Why do you use the sharpshooter as a finisher?
I just keep it as the sharpshooter is family tradition. You know, I've also me and Joey also use the Heart Attack, same as the Heart Foundation for the finish. I like
Yep.
keeping family tradition tradition. You know, I think if you're from a family that has a long lineage of wrestlers that you know that have been doing these things, why not? It's not really necessarily stealing. It's maybe
No.
it's just carrying on the legacy.
Yeah, it's tribute.
That's right.
No, you do a good job.
Thank you.
You should be like your dad and use the drop toe hold into a figure four, a back figure four.
Yeah, my dad was a real technical wrestler. Like, back in the days, you can use a clothesline or a figure four, and that would be a finishing move, you know. But
Yep.
nowadays, it seems like you have to do about five brain busters to get a guy just to, 1, 2, 3, which I don't really find to be wrestling. There's no art
No,
to that.
no, me either. I don't agree with it.
Right.
Back I like when it was when submissions were the whole focus.
Yeah, I think that if Bret Hart puts a sharpshooter on, the guy doesn't tap out. I don't think that that should be Bret's finishing move.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah.
Right. I think if a guy puts a finishing move on someone and they're kicking out of that, it doesn't make sense to me because that
No.
just kind of dethrones why you're using the move.
Yeah, it's all rigged psychology.
That's right.
You're right.
Yep.
So what got you into wrestling?
Just a family tradition. It was just something that was born inside of me from the time I can remember, 7 years old, collecting all the LJNs and the Hasbros and being able to go to some of the old Stampede wrestling shows. Like, I was only about 6 or 7 years old, but I'd see guys like Dynamite Kid and all these legends that you get older, you don't see much of them anymore because they're either retired or they've passed on.
Yeah, that's really
But
cool. You got to see Dynamite. Like he'd be your uncle, right?
he'd be my uncle through marriage. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So Bret Hart's wife Julie, sister Michelle, was married to Dynamite, so it's kind of like through, like, not really blood relation but through marriage.
I never realized just how big your family was because of that. Like same with the Smiths and the Pillmans, right? Like
They all married wrestlers. All the girls in the family either married wrestlers or were a part of wrestling somehow, and
that's pretty cool.
all the kids were wrestlers or teachers.
Okay, so who trained you?
So I got trained by my father, um, in the dungeon, and I was training with him for years. I did a few little spot stuff with Bruce, but I don't really consider that training. I wasn't always at the training facilities when they were hosting them.
Yeah,
But I started getting really, really trained when I came up to Cambridge, probably in 2003. You had guys like Sean Spears
yeah,
and Eric Young and the Highlanders were there, and that's who I give credit for my training because those guys were tough as nails.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Um, so where can we see you wrestle now?
Well, upcoming next month, I'll be in Bradford for the annual Carrot Cup, Carrot Fest.
Yeah, I always see you on the posters there for the Carrot Cup. What is it?
So it's at Joey's house right now, but it's just a tag team tournament. Like it's a tag tournament, and if you win, you get a cup, and your name goes on the cup.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Stanley Cup of wrestling. I would assume, you know.
Okay. Is there like a carrot festival and like people with the biggest carrots?
Well, that's what the whole festival is. It's Carrot Fest. So like Bradford's synonymous for their farming and their carrots and all that. So it's actually Carrot Town,
Oh wow.
really. So that's why they call it Carrot Fest because that's where all the carrots come from.
I'm Irish, so I love my potatoes. I was
Me
just
too.
curious.
Me too. I'm a potato fan myself.
Uh, so you've had issues with mental health before, yeah?
I suffer from depression and anxiety, and a lot of that stems from trauma from my childhood.
Oh shit.
I never really had the best life. My parents weren't together, and my mom was a single mother trying to hold three jobs, and she there wasn't a lot of like my father wasn't always there.
Yeah,
Growing up, he had other obligations in life, of course, and he had other children too that he had to tend to as well. But Um, it just grew from there, and then I got depressed because I always felt like I didn't belong or I wasn't accepted, and
that's rough.
it all it always stuck with me, and with the anxiety and stuff, I think I got the anxiety because I always tried to compare myself on the levels of like Tyson Kidd and D.H. Smith, Harry Smith, my cousin, but
Yeah,
those guys are so advanced that you
you
can't even
can't do
compete.
that. No,
You can't compare yourself to people that have
so
been there and done that.
no, yeah, you can't.
Right. So I suffer from a lot of that too, and a lot of self-worth, um, just hoping that, I can make my mark in wrestling, just to leave an impression on somebody who's going through a bad day or doesn't believe they can do it. It's like you can do anything you put your mind to,
Yeah,
but the power sometimes with the depression, it outweighs the happy sides of things, right? And it's a work in progress, and I'm on some medications, and the medications seem to be doing 100%. Like I'm doing a lot better than when I was.
that's
Um,
good.
and it probably stems from losing my mother in 2006. My mother was killed on my brother's 13th birthday, Matthew, my brother. And
Uh,
a lot of people don't know that. So here we are going to wake up to celebrate my brother's 13th birthday, and instead we're finding my mother deceased.
that's scary. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know.
Yeah, so it plays its effect in a person's life, no matter how old you are. Everybody needs their parents. And then,
Yeah.
when I lost my dad in 2017 tragically to cancer, because my dad was a very manly man. He didn't want to go to doctors and he didn't want to get checked out. And by the time he did get checked out, something as simple as prostate cancer, which is 100% curable, now spread through his bones and through his whole
Gee.
body. And by the time we realized how far it was gone, it was stage 4.
Oh man.
So that played a big impact on me because if, a lot of people in Ontario know whenever they saw Mike Hart wrestling, my dad was not far behind.
Hmm.
He used to come to all the shows and support me and Joey. And it's been a void not having him and his laughter and his sense of humor on the road with us. So that's played a big part in depression and anxiety as well.
I feel you
Uh,
there. I deal with grief and PTSD a lot.
yeah,
Uh,
and
I'm I'm
it's difficult.
schizophrenic. It is. I'm schizophrenic too, and I lost my dad 9 years ago to stomach cancer.
Hmm.
So I feel you with the grief. Like I feel it every day. I don't. It doesn't really get better.
No, it doesn't. And I can relate to you actually. My sister had schizophrenia and she ended up taking her own life 3 years ago.
I'm sorry, Mike.
So it's been hard, like everybody thinks the Hart family's special and in a way we are, but we suffer the same griefs as everybody else. Like I don't handle grief very well.
No.
It really darkens my spirits when I know somebody so close to me has lost their battle with mental illness or depression, and
Yeah,
including my sister. My sister, she had schizophrenia, and she would hear voices, and she would, and to communicate with her, you'd have to almost like envision what she was seeing. Like she would tell me all the time, look through that hole. Do you see the fairies?
yeah,
And I would almost have to play along just to have a conversation with her,
that's
and
rough.
it was rough, but I just hope that at the end of the road there's peace and for everybody. I don't want to look at death as it's over, it's gone. I think that
Hmm.
it's a time for peace and a
Yeah,
time to reflect
that's
and
why.
uh, and come back better and stronger. I believe in reincarnation. I believe people come back better and stronger, and this life is a learning experience for anybody. And people that think it's over, I don't believe that. I think it's just the beginning for people.
I like to believe in that too.
Yeah, yeah. But it's tough, for anybody to deal with mental health.
Yeah,
Sometimes there's a lot of resources around, but a lot of people don't feel comfortable
taking.
expressing themselves.
That's right. I take classes at the Canadian Mental Health Society.
Yeah,
It keeps me busy, but it keeps me in check too.
that's good, man. You got to find something to keep you going, right?
Right.
And it
And
could be something as simple as going for a coffee or just, loading out on somebody like just to feel a sense of belief or recovery and stuff,
that's why I'm
it's
always at all the wrestling shows. It's just I need to get out there and do something, so I'll fan cam, and that's kind of what's gotten me my notoriety. But I need that community sense of community with the wrestlers and the promoters. That's me.
Well, you're a big part of the wrestling, man, so I really do hope that you feel a part of stuff because you are very special to wrestling, and I always look forward to seeing you, honestly.
Thank you, Mike.
It's
I do.
important that it's important that you know that.
Yeah, it's some days I have to remind myself because depression hits its hardest at some points.
It does, and for some people that do struggle from it, tomorrow's always a new day,
Yep,
and you just have to really take one day at a time in life. Like instead of focusing on 3 years down the road, let's focus on today and let's see where that brings us today. And
exactly.
taking small steps like that is a lot better than overwhelming your brain with so many things that you have to do. Just work on one thing at a time.
You're right.
And I hope you have a friend that you can reach out to when you're feeling down because I'll be your friend if that's the case.
I appreciate you, Mike. You're a great fucking person.
You're not alone, man. Just so you know, nobody's alone, okay? Don't ever feel
Okay.
like that.
Okay. I was gonna ask you what the Calgary scene was like, but I guess you don't know.
I actually do know.
Oh,
So my cousin Dallas Hart, actually Bret Hart's son, is
oh,
now running Dungeon Wrestling in Calgary, and they're killing it out there.
I love their
They're
product.
drawing. It's amazing product, and they're doing really good, and they're selling out. They're getting like 2,000 people. Like
Yep.
I remember when Harry and TJ and Natty were first starting out, you'd be lucky if 10 or 20 people showed up.
Yeah,
And these are named guys. Now Dallas, Brett's son, he's taking it to the next level and he's selling out the pavilion, which holds about 1,800 people, which is a great accomplishment for him.
that's pretty cool.
And they're keeping wrestling alive in Calgary, which is very important.
Yeah, and they're paying tribute to the past too, which is nice.
It's very important to do that. It's always important to pay homage to the people that came before you and after you because without it, it's like you wouldn't be anything. If you didn't have anything to emulate like a Dynamite Kid or a Bret Hart, who's to say what would happen, right?
Yep. So what are your favorite matches to watch?
Right now,
Yeah,
I really like tag team wrestling.
yeah,
And the
me too.
reason I like tag team wrestling is because you need to have that um you need to be on the same page as your partner. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's not always the easiest thing to do.
Hmm.
But luckily me and Joey have not only been a tag team, but we've become best friends over the years. So we kind of know each other inside and out, which really helps when you're starting a tag team.
Yeah, the
Um,
whole group dynamic are right there.
It's important to know a person's life, and that way you can complement each other in the ring.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I really like an NXT too. I like NXT just because I'm seeing guys like Ethan Page and it's guys that we grew up coming up with, and
Yeah,
Sean Spears and all those guys. It's a good feeling to know that it's a sense of accomplishment to know that these guys made it. These guys never took no for an answer, and they just kept banging on the door. And now look at them,
yeah,
and they have a lot to be proud of because, as you know, indie wrestling is probably the hardest wrestling
it would
there
be.
is.
Yeah, it is.
It is because there's nobody, there's no medical there to tell you, hey, slow it down. If you get hurt, you're kind of
Yeah,
hurt, and at least with WWE, they have the medical professionals there to kind of, you
yeah.
know,
All the bloody concussions too, right?
well, indie wrestling's the hardest wrestling, bar none. I stand that by anything.
Yeah,
There's no rules, there's no script, there's no agents, there's no, it's what you see guys coming up with. It's on their own. There's nobody telling them, hey, I want you to do this spot, that spot, this spot. It's like you're coming up with your own spots and doing your own things, and hopefully it
that's
works.
true.
No,
It's
you
like a
know,
wild west.
that's right.
But yeah, you're kind of lucky nobody goes into business for themselves and just
No,
shoot.
no, I can handle myself pretty well. I did amateur wrestling in high school and stuff. So my dad basically taught me the ins and outs of guys trying to shoot on you or be stiff and how to protect yourself. So I dare anybody to try that with me.
I'd love to see that part of you, Mike. Just to,
It'd be a bad day for them. I try not to show that side because it's a side that comes from trauma,
yeah, I got,
and it can become dark sometimes. So I try not to let anybody show that side of me.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
it happens.
What are your favorite moments in life?
Winning this tag team title with my partner Joey,
Yep.
being the 2024 Carrot Cup champions with Joey, being tag team of the year in Quebec with Joey. You know, little things that shouldn't matter to me. Like winning a belt matters to me now, whereas before I just loved wrestling.
Yeah.
But this is like an accomplishment that, the promoters see me as somebody they can rely on and somebody to trust, and I take that to heart. Like when I go for my matches, I'm very articulate on everything, and I really want everything to go smooth and well, not just for me and my opponents, but for the promotion who's putting 10,000 people in some of these seats now. Like PCW is growing leaps and bounds, and this company has only really been around for 1 year. And we just
Wow.
did a show. We just did a show in Ottawa, and they had 4,000 people at the TD Arena.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I mean, wrestling is getting bigger and bigger, and I honestly couldn't be more proud because all the guys that put in all this work, they deserve it, man. They really deserve to be on the platform of wrestling in front of thousands of people. That's what
Right.
everyone dreams of doing, and a lot of these guys are starting to are getting that, and it's really good to see because a lot of these guys on the indie scene, they work their tail off, man.
You're right.
You know, they work really really hard, and it's really nice when a promoter says, "Hey, you've been doing really good work. Like, we want to honor that. We want to honor that tradition. What do you think of this? And what do you think of that?" And it just means so much to me because my opinions matter now.
It's like Scarface said, right? All you have is your word and your balls, and your
and
word
and,
matters. So
and that's it, man. And that's the truth. That's
yeah.
the honest truth. It's like that's all a man really has is his word and his balls.
So I was gonna say your dad competed in World of Sport, and it's like my favorite wrestling company. And Brett
Out in
did,
England,
and yeah, Brett did, and Ross did, and Owen even.
even my brother went out there. He didn't wrestle for World of Sports, but my brother wrestled for the Knight families, Paige's mom and dad.
Oh yeah,
My brother Matt got to do a 3-week tour up there, and I was invited, but I didn't go. I had other obligations. But I'm really proud of Matthew for putting that under his belt and going. And he also went to Puerto Rico and wrestled for Carlos Colon out there, my brother,
oh,
which, like just living the dream. And I couldn't be more proud of my brother to be following in the footsteps of my dad and the rest of my family.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is.
I was gonna
It's
ask you
amazing.
if have you wrestled elsewhere?
Like in the States?
States, anywhere.
I did, but I'm not one to go to the States. Um, I've had issues before. I've wrestled in New York before, but as a Canadian, if you don't have your proper
Yeah,
documents in order, it could be a real pain in the ass if you ever want to go back there. So I've always been the kind of guy, if I don't have my ducks in a row, I won't even bother because it's just really going to set me up for failure.
right.
But I did wrestle for NWA Wildside
That's
in
good, man.
Lockport, New York, and we made the front page of the paper. Me and a guy named Elian Habanero,
That's cool.
and yeah, it was a great time. But I love Canadian wrestling. I think
In there.
Canadian wrestlers need more of a map because there's so many talented guys that the world will never see.
That's why hopefully with Maple Leaf Pro, they're kind of doing that. They're
They
sticking more
are.
more of the talent up front. It's
Well,
nice.
Scott Demore is a genius. He really
Here,
is, and he doesn't get enough credit for the stuff he did with TNA. Like if it wasn't for Scott Demore, TNA I don't think would be here today.
no,
Um, you know, I think that he put a lot of his hard work and efforts into something, and it really saddened me to see him go, to be honest with you, because last year me and Joey we were invited to TNA Slammiversary
yeah,
in Montreal, and we did the event, and it just was different. Scott Demore wasn't there, and it was just really different, like Scott
it'd be
Scott
awesome.
was hands on with everything, and it was probably a little too much for him, one man to be taking on, but he did it with a smile on his face. And when things happen, budget cuts or whatever you want to call it, I think
Yeah,
that was a real slap in the face to Canadian wrestling because Scott D'Amore, out of all people, was the one that's actually tried to get Canada on the map
hmm
and really worked hard for that.
you did with Team Canada and Petey Williams and
That's right. And
yeah,
and that takes a lot of work. When you have such bad negativity about a company for years. And you have a guy like Scott Demore who just came in and changed the whole concept of TNA wrestling and brought the name back and made it relevant again. That's thanks to him, you
yeah,
know, and his hard work and his belief in guys like Josh Alexander and guys like Mike Bailey.
and
You
Cody
know,
D. Yeah,
all of those guys deserve to be where they are. And a lot of them now are with AEW,
yeah.
and good for them. It's another platform for more Canadians to shine, and I think it's super important that Canadian wrestling lives.
I believe so too.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm glad Dungeon City's doing so well.
Me too. And I really, really want to see a lot of promoters starting to just drop this, oh, we can't use you if you work here, or,
Oh God,
that really bothers me because it's like, I understand that you might not like the other promoters,
hmm
but we're not on contracts with other promoters. We are freelance wrestlers. We go where we're booked.
yep.
And if a promoter has another issue with another promoter, that's just sad because now people won't see the actual stars they want to see because of an
It
issue that has
hurts
nothing to do
the,
with the.
exactly. It hurts the wrestlers' growth. It hurts the fans because then they
But
don't get to see the worker, and yeah, it's not good for anybody.
no, it's not, and it
It
really
hurts your
saddens
pocket.
me
It hurts your
because my
pocket.
my family lived and died for professional wrestling,
Yep.
and I just want it to get stronger and stronger. I want to know that the efforts put in were the efforts that were earned, and I want wrestling to be in a good place. Wrestling was my life and still is my life, and wrestling can take a guy out of a dark place really easily and make it a positive for him. And
Yep.
wrestling is such a positive thing for a lot of people. It gives people character to work on. If that character doesn't work, you can always go back to the drawing board and figure something out. Like, there's so much you can do with wrestling.
Yep.
It's very important to keep Canadian wrestling strong. And I know guys like Jan Murphy and Guillaume Charbon and all those guys, they really work hard to keep wrestling strong in their cities, and I think it's super, super important. Like, I really love what Justin Cousineau and Jan Murphy are doing, and PCW. I think it's great. And guys like Scott Demore. I think it's really like it. It's just great for everybody. It's great for the wrestlers. It's great for the fans.
Yep.
You know, Wrestling could be an outlet for anybody.
I agree. I
Yeah.
appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
And I appreciate you reaching out to me and wanting to do this. I have a
Oh,
lot
buddy,
of respect for you, and
I've
I
been
look
wanting,
forward to seeing you.
I've been wanting to speak to you for a while. But it's just been a good 10 years now. But
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I've always wanted to shoot the shit with you and just talk to you about your family and your life.
and I really appreciate that because it
You're
helps
really a
me.
cool guy, Mike.
Thank you. It helps me with my recovery, believe it or not, too, being able to talk about these things that make me happy and stuff. It really it puts me in a good spot too. I feel a lot
Good,
better about things.
good man. I'm glad.
Yep. But I really appreciate you having me on here, and I really hope we can do more of this.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You have a great night.
You too, sir. Thank you again.